What's up, money magnets and master traders? We officially have another new all-time high close, reaching uncharted territory. Today we closed at 642.69. Incredible, taking out the previous pivot high, previous all-time pivot high around 639.85. I was watching the 640 level. I wrote here in my Discord 5 minutes before the market opened. 640 rejected in the pre-market, but if bulls want to test it during trading hours, 638.5 must clear to put 640 in play with 641.5 and 643 above. If below 638.5 and 637 fails, then 635.5 will be back in play. Loss of 635.5 will be a big win for the bears. So I was not making any predictions this morning, but I was watching to react to the price action. If we go down to the 15-minute chart, today's price action was much better than yesterday's price action. Yesterday didn't really go anywhere, it was very trappy. Today, the market makers picked a direction and they stuck with it. And it started off with the breakout of my 638.5 level on the 15-minute chart. It bounced off the 637 level, cleared 638.5 on the 15-minute chart. That's when Unco wrote to the group. Bears failed to break down the 637 level and cleared 638.5. 640 is in play as long as above. We smashed 640. And not only did we smash 640, we cleared 640 on the 15-minute chart, which Unco let the group know. 640 cleared, putting 641.5 and 643 in play. We managed to hit 641.5, cleared it. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, we didn't hit 643. We came just shy of it. But overall, it was very bullish and it was very kind to price action traders today. So super grateful. And now here we are, still grinding up this uptrend line. I was watching for this wedge pattern. I was wondering if it's going to break down. Instead, we got the breakout of this wedge pattern, which is usually bearish. But in this context, it isn't. So what is the plan now? As some of you guys may know, when I zoom out from the chart, I had this macro level, fib level, right around the 644 level. And now my macro level, fib level comes from February 2025's high down to April 2025's low. And it gave me the 644.25 level as a macro level, fib level. And now we zoom in, we can see that we are so close to touching that level. So what is the plan for tomorrow? The plan is that as long as SPY stays above 640 or low is 639.85, but I'll be watching 640. As long as above, Uncle Charters will remain bull biased on SPY. We are in uncharted territory, but above 640, keep SPY in breakout mode. And as long as SPY is in breakout mode, more upside is possible in hitting that 644 level is possible. Now, in the micro levels, I have a fib level at 644.7. So that is the next level I'm watching. As far as resistant goes, for the short term, I'm watching 643 and 644.7. If those levels clear, 646 and the next Fibonacci extension level at 647.7 would be in play, and then 650 above. As usual, I don't recommend us calling a top, but instead to wait for the right setup. I don't always know when there's going to be a top, but I do know that when there is a top, it usually comes in the form of a rug pull, exhaustion gap down, but either way, a support level fails. A false breakout is always how a top gets started. So right now, we have to wait patiently, especially if you are a bear that's waiting for some type of pullback, correction, especially with all the crazy stuff that's going on in the news. I heard President Trump wants to sue Uncle Powell. I don't know what's going on with that or how that's going to play out. But if news like that leads to bearishness, it needs to reflect most importantly on the charts. And that would start with a breakdown of 641.5 and 640. If we can break down those levels, then a pullback can be possible. I don't know how low the pullback would be, but most awesome pullbacks, corrections, or even crashes started off with the breakdown of support. So I'm advising us to watch 640 as support tomorrow is the main one. If it breaks down, then today's breakout was a false one, and we can see if we can drop back down to the downside. 638.5, 637, and 635.5 would be in play. The 5 DMA is around 636, but I'm still watching the fib level of 635.5. If we break that down, I would be bear bias in favor a much deeper correction, maybe another $5 to $10 move down, and there's always the possibility it drops lower than that. But The most important thing is we want to patiently wait for the right setup, and the levels I'm giving you guys is 641.5, 640, 638.5, 637, and 635.5. Those are the levels you want to see fail. You don't have to wait for all the levels to fail. You can wait for 640 to fail, try to look to short with your stop loss in the proper area, but that's what I would do. Otherwise, I do favor we go up higher. Speaking of going up higher, QQQ also cleared to a new all-time high, and it hit my Fibonacci extension level around 580. That's your resistant level for tomorrow as well, with 582 and 583.4 above. If we clear 580, more upside incoming. We are heading up to uncharted territory. I also have 586, 589, 591, and 592.6 as targets to the upside. That's if 580 clears. But if we are to get a rejection, we only trust rejections from resistant levels that is strong enough to break down support levels. I have support at 578, 576, 574.6, and 573. If we can break down those levels, that is when I would trust the rejection and favor another at least another $15 move to the downside. I would also break down my trend line, get below the 5 DMA, give us that false breakout setup that the bears really need right now. But once again, we want to stay unbiased, because if 580 clears, as crazy as it can be, more upside incoming. NVDA, while SPY and QQQ is looking to make some moves, NVDA is still overall chopping. My chop range 184 down to 180. I need to see an official daily chart close outside of this range before I can pick a direction. However, I will say that even though in the short term NVDA is chopping, in the medium term as well as even the long term, NVDA is bullish. So unless bears can break down 180 and 178.5, this chop could favor the bulls, which could lead to new all-time high. I do have a macro level fib level at 186 plus, and another one all the way up at 194. Can the bulls hit that level? Here is Tesla. Now, while NVDA is chopping, Tesla is looking overall bullish. Yesterday, we had the breakout of a multi-month trend line. Today, we had a higher close than yesterday, but the most important thing for me is how we back tested that downtrend line today and found buying pressure from that area. So the behavior to me on Tesla is still overall bullish. And for upside tomorrow, 342, 344, 346, and 347.5 are my targets, are my resistant levels. If they clear, I would expect more upside and for this breakout to show more follow through. But once again, we must be prepared for either scenario, because those market makers love to play tricks on us retail traders in order for them to make their profits. We end up being liquidity. So we got to be very careful and still know the levels. I have support at 340, 338, 335, 333, 331.5. Now this downtrend line does slope down. So if bears want to get that false breakout setup, 33 is not the level to watch anymore. It is now 331.5, which also happens to be one of my fib levels. If we can break down those levels, especially 331.5, we should be able to get another $20 to $30 drop back to the downside. I would not be surprised if it goes even more than that, but that's what I'll be thinking. Now moving on to coin, looks like it's just chopping now. It's in the chop phase. Still overall bearish because of the downtrend, and it back tested a critical resistant level recently, which found selling pressure. Bears just aren't ready to show follow through just yet. This could still go either way, but right now it's around 322, which gives me my next support levels at 320 and 318. If we are to get some downside, we want to see those levels fail. 315. I do have a gap around 311 and some targets around 302 and the 300 area to the downside. Now the bulls can definitely turn things around by recapturing that 334 level. That level is important for multiple reasons, but it also aligns with this downtrend line. Above 334, coins in breakout mode and would be very bullish. I would favor a $20 to a $30 pop to the upside if we can recapture that 334 level, break out this downtrend line. And that's my plan for coin. IWM, beautiful pop to the upside, but I did change my levels today for IWM compared to what it was yesterday, and I brought my fib level starting from July 23rd high and I brought it down to August 1st low, which gave me new levels. And right now the main support level I'm watching is 226.7, and I have a macro macro level, fib level at 225. If it's pullback time, those are the levels you want to see break down with 223.6, 222, and 220 or lower in play. Now above 225 and above 226.7, I am bull biased on IWM. That's bullish follow through from the buying pressure that we had today. Targets would be 228, 230, and 232 and 234. I also have 235.5 above for fib level targets. So if we stay above 226.7 and 228 clears, we can expect more upside for IWM. And last but certainly not least, here is the VIX retesting a critical buy zone or demand zone, I should say. We can see in the previous time we've been in this area. Market makers for some reason did not let the VIX go below it, around the 14.7-ish area. Today we closed once again right around that area. So 14.7 is the level to watch for VIX tomorrow. If it drops, SPY will likely continue upwards in a melt up style, probably make it difficult to trade. So as you guys can tell, Uncle's not a big fan of the VIX dropping so low, but we'll see. This is a critical demand zone. If I zoom out more, you can see there's been plenty of situations or times when VIX hit this area and it bounced even all the way back here. So yeah, we're back at this demand zone. So we'll see if it'll make a difference if the VIX will bounce from here, because if the VIX bounce from here, this could mean correction time for SPY. Uncle's neither bullish or bearish on the SPY. I just love volatility, and I know when the VIX goes up, there is volatility and it's a good time to trade. So yeah, 14.7 must bounce, and to trust the bounce, I need to see 16 and 17.5 recapture. If that happens, you know your uncle is going to be very excited. But if we break down 14.7, I might not be as excited, but I will listen to the price action, and that would put 13.8, 13, and 12.3 all in play. We'll see if VIX will actually hit those levels, because like I said, this was a tough buy zone, 14.7, so we'll see what happens. So once again, guys, that's what I have for you guys today. I hope you guys was able to find value in my video. I hope I was able to help you guys make some great money. Hope the pivot levels are helping you guys out. The trading approach, the mindset, the money magnet mindset, believing that we are master traders, even if the 3D world doesn't want to give us the confirmation. Mind over matter, as they say. And in our minds, we are master traders. We are money magnets. We're the best. You guys are the best. And we're going to make it no matter what. That's just how it goes. That's just how it is. I love y'all. Peace.